Welcome, Knicks fans, Knicks Nation, to another episode of Knicks Dreams, another pregame show where we're going to talk about the last, good things and bad things we noticed about the last game that came about, and some things we can adjust and maybe attack with this game coming up and going forward. Basically, we have Bill Shadamis joining us. I'll toss it to him to say hello, and then we'll come back for a little commentary and analysis of what we came across. Bill, take it away.
Good afternoon, Knicks fans, on this beloved snowy day here in New York.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today. And as the Dream mentioned, we're going to talk about our beloved Knicks. What happened in the last game? What was it? On Monday against Chicago, and what we're expecting to happen tonight again against Chicago. Real quick, we lost the game that we felt that we should have won, and it didn't sit well with all of us. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll give you a regular bounce pass.
A regular bounce pass, yeah, because we're gonna take it slow up the floor this time. We're gonna use 7 seconds.
Not trying to be fancy, right?
Yeah, nothing fancy. Just bring it across half court and let's set up. So I mean, basically, we all watched the game. Basically, saw it the same way. I feel, in the first quarter we had another slow start. Compacted with turnovers, and we blew an opportunity to jump out on this team, the first 3 minutes anyway, I would say. We had a couple of easy looks at baskets. We had a couple wide open layups, just bad positioning, missed buckets. We're still about 2-zip, after the first 3 minutes or something like that. And I felt like we really could have took advantage of that and pushed it a little bit on them, and make them do some things. We didn't make any adjustments from from seeing the 3-point shooting team the day before. That didn't happen at all, because basically a lot of their threes came on wide open looks, which was, I'm not sure really had to take that. Some of that blame has to go on coaching. Some of that blame has to go on people just being in better positioning, man, playing smarter. I feel like the legs were there, but the mind was a little lax. So they were half to 1 second off on everything, and Chicago wasn't, and so the ball was flipping around for them a little bit faster, and they found themselves wide open. Ball movement was stagnant at times. And, and I felt like we settled for ISO ball too often, we do have that matchup, we said to look out for certain matchups and stuff like that. And it ended up being that Markkanen was the one that put his name on our map. He already had it on the NBA map, but he put it on our map. You know why? Because this is a contract year for him too. He turned down a little contract that the extension that Chicago tried to offer him for 4 years and $60 million. He's betting on himself that he's worth more than $15 million a year. And, if I'm the Knicks, I definitely got to be looking at that as an option, either picking him up as a free agent or even trading for him, that would be a great add to our team. I think in the area of he could slide right in at the 3 next to Randall and next to Barrett. And I think that would be a great option for what we're trying to do on offense. And it would free up those guys who want to drive, because if he has that kind of shooting ability, that's definitely going to draw the defense out. So, just a little something that I noticed to myself, and figured out I would throw that out there. But, at this point, I'm not going to say too much, but as we're going through the fundamentals, there's a nice little chest pass. Go to my man down low and see what he does over there. Bill Shadamis.
All right. Now, with that being said, because I agree with you that he's worth taking a look. I don't know if you were. Yeah, you were on the chat.
Yeah.
We were on our chat, and you see what I was calling him.
Yeah,
I was calling him Dirk.
Yeah.
Because he was just lighting us up. He lit us up. What did he hit like 30? He
did
that in 3 quarters.
Because 3 quarters. Yeah.
3 quarters. He didn't score in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, at all. Yeah.
So that's definitely a good look. What you just said, him at the 3.
Yeah. Oh man.
The Randall and Mitch and then RJ
and quickly whoever at the
quickly or whoever's going to be the starting. Yeah, that would be a very, very good look.
Yeah,
I agree. But I also think that I don't think that the teams did, but I think that what we did, we underestimated certain plays because I remember 2.0 indicating that we may have some problems with marketing.
Yeah.
And I, for one, was shaking my head. Nah, he's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, he went down a whole list.
He went down a whole list of their players, but it was marketing was the one that I specifically, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I must have had a brain lapse with regard to what he did to KP a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, and I mean he's played with the USA team, as a player coming out, so he's definitely has the pedigree to be a solid player, if not a sharp marksman, the way he did look against us. But
And you said this is a contract year for him, right?
Contract, yeah. He turned down a contract extension with Chicago, so they have to make a decision on him. Whether they're going to try to offer him more, but he becomes a restricted free agent, not an unrestricted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and what did they offer him? You said 15?
They offered him 15 over 4 years.
Turned that down.
And he turned it down. So, I'm not horrible. I mean, what did Gordon wanted? What, 27 and change or something like that per year, or something around there. So somewhere in between there, I would give this kid 20, 21, maybe. I don't know. If he shows out like that, and we can he would be a piece. He's like custom fit for what our offense is trying to do.
Absolutely.
Because he can be more of the shooter and let RJ roam the basket area, and then Randall can do both. But that guy is gonna free up Randall more on one-on-ones than he is double teaming, which is what we saw a lot in his game towards the end. He's trying to take on triple teams and he's turning the ball over. So But go ahead.
And Dirk 2.0 is also, he's a marksman. Unlike our alleged shooters.
Yes.
Shooters, we have Bullock, Burks.
Yeah, no.
Quickly. Those are our best 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
And he shoots better than all of them.
Than all of them. Oh, yeah.
So when our point guards are driving and kicking out, we'll hit more than we'll miss with him on the floor. With him on the floor. So I agree with you wholeheartedly there. Yeah. Now, who I wanted to go to, it was again Mitch.
I said, listen, good or bad, we're gonna have to start him every single game because we need to see what we have. Either he's going to eventually grow into being. I mean, he's a man. I don't want to. I don't want to degrade him. You know what I'm saying? But what we describe as a man's game, down low game. He doesn't play
have that at all.
Doesn't play that way. His mindset is not that way, and I get it because his style, floating around, being the taller guy, grabbing, skying in and grabbing those putbacks or lobs. That's great, and
all athleticism.
Yeah, and that's fine. Even as if he wants to be the backup center to do that, but not on a team that's really going to compete for anything serious in the league. Is there going to be a starting center that plays that way? DeAndre Jordan plays that way, but he plays because he has the body. He plays stronger and he takes up space. And ever since they made mention of it a couple games back. I mean, we've probably all noticed it in time, but ever since, man, it's like once you mention something, you notice it all the time. So now every time I'm looking at him like, don't drift, man, don't drift. Put a knee in somebody, an arm in somebody's back, but you never get there. It just happens time and time. And it's like, okay, so we have to really come to an understanding as Knicks fans where we want to go, and coaching staff also needs to just figure it out. They probably have already, but they're trying to get the best out of them if they can. But
well, that game the other day, he only got 20 minutes, and Noel had 28 minutes. And in Mitch's 20 minutes, he put 9 points and 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
Noel had 8 points and 7 rebounds.
There you go.
So, we got to come better than that from the 5.
Regardless,
yeah, we got to come better than that. We need, let's say, jump, 8-foot jump shot, a jump hook, or sky hook. Kareem, do something.
He needs one weapon.
We can't keep continuing year after year talking about the potential that this guy has. This is what, 3rd year, correct? Third season. This is the 3rd season now, and we're all expecting, bigger things from the five.
Yeah.
And I think that, like you said, if he's willing to, if he wants to just stick around and be the backup, then that's one thing. Then that means we have to go out and get a five in addition to getting a one.
Yeah.
So
that's okay. Like finding some beef down low is easier than finding a true point guard to really control and run the team. Somebody to help quickly out. I think that's more the priority and the harder fit. Is what we're trying to do.
That's true. We just seen who came into the building. Our very own Grandmaster Henry 2.0.
It's a 2.0 sighting.
Hey.
we might get a 5 sighting, But listen, I just picked up on the conversations you guys are having. First of all, how you guys doing?
Good.
And
Good.
Sorry for your loss. My everything, whatever goes along with that. But if I can get 17 points and 20 rebounds between Noel and Mitchell, I'm not crying about that now.
No, but it seems like it's empty calories though. Like, they don't make an impact on the game.
It's not a consistent 20 points or 18 points and 15 rebounds between two.
Yeah, stat wise, I agree with you.
So but that's what I'm saying. But the problem is, again, I go back to the fact that is a coaching issue. He's doing what he's told to do. Mitchell, and they put the X or they put the M and they write his name in the corner, not in the corner, at the lower blocks, right about an inch outside of the boundary.
Yeah, hilarious.
If you place him there, he's got no chance to go for offensive rebounds. He has to be a little bit further up on the block. And for that, I agree with you, Bill. He has to call for the ball and be an offensive threat. Otherwise, he's just in the way of what my man not Barrett, because Barrett drives the lane, but he'll be in the way of Randall, because Randall is the one that likes to have the lane to himself to do all of that, Mm-hmm. And again, when it comes to that last game, so that was one point that I wanted to bring out about the coaching. They're not putting him in a good position. That's why he said, just let me play.
Yeah.
Because they don't put him in any position. He's not a player. He's a body on the court.
Yeah.
He's a player on the court. Nobody has to, the defense doesn't have to worry about him other than when the shot goes up, go box his ass out and push him all the way out into the stands if you have to.
Well, he's already halfway there.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, easier. He makes it easier for them.
It's easy, man. Like,
already, he got, like I said, he got about 6 inches away from the baseline.
That's it.
So it's easy to keep him out there. On defense, he's not affecting those shots, the lane anymore like he used to.
Right.
Nothing was coming down in the middle last year because he was blocking everything. He was throwing stuff out into the third row,
right.
Section 105, seat 25 and stuff like that. I mean, but none of that. You haven't seen that not even once this year, which is, I don't know what's going on with him, as far as the defense is concerned. But you know what? That happens to players who think that they are offensive players. They want to be part of the offense when all he has to do is part of the defense. And between the two of them, the two-headed centers, is I need 18 points and 15 rebounds, man. That's 8 and 7 each, 8 and 7, 10 and 5, 10 and 10, whatever combination. That's all I need because that's what I got to work with. If they really want to make a change, go ahead and go get that kid from the Cavs. Okay, Drummond. They want to make a difference. Get Drummond and stop complaining about the centers. So the coaching staff, they got nothing to complain about because they got two very slim, light guys that are not going to push anybody around down there. That's why they can't give him the ball. They only give him the ball on alley-oops because height. He got the height over everybody there. So give him 5 of those plays a game. Give him 5 of those plays a game instead of just every occasional. You know? As far as that last game is concerned, Barrett messed up by taking a 3. Well, on a 4-on-3 break, he's going to the corner. Go get yourself a foul, man. We like what I think it might have been 100 apiece at that point.
Right. It was tied.
It was tied at that point. A minute and a half to go. Yo, that's where that low IQ player and that player that thinks that he's a jump shooter jumped in there instead of the player that said, man, I got to go to the hole. I got to make this a 3-point play the hard way. Yeah. Or please get me 2 or take me to the line. Don't come down here empty. And that taking that 3-point shot is the worst average.
Yeah, lowest percentage.
The lowest percentage. The lowest percentage shot is going to be that 3-point, even if it's from the corner, because he's not a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So, and the one that was made before that by Burks, man, that stuff rattled around there, boy. he was scared to shoot it. He shot it scared. Like, I don't want to miss this. Please don't let me miss this.
I think that's what our guys, they're thinking, like our shooters, they're thinking too much. Like Burks, not a decent scoring game. What did he have? 18? The game before that, what did he have? Like 6. Like, so is this the Burks we're going to get? Are we going to get 18 one day? And then, since he had 18 the other day, what is he going to score tonight? 4? That can't be. You have to be more consistent. Yeah. And it seems like you said, that these guys are thinking too much instead of playing.
Yeah.
Just play. Burks is a good shooter. We saw that, prior to his injury. He's a good shooter.
Yeah.
He's a shooter. He's a scorer, man. He was averaging 20.
Yeah.
And the game was coming to him.
Right.
Yeah. He was
and it seems like now, he seems sometimes hesitant and just unsure. And the same with Bullock. They just, I don't know.
But it wasn't. Well, our defense let us down in the end, but it also let us down in the beginning. Again, the same thing. If you know these guys are 3-point shooters, why are you letting them get hot like that? I told you guys, market them.
Yeah, we mentioned that. We mentioned that too. Yeah.
And in the last 6 points, 6 or 8 points, it was that Levine kid.
Yeah. And they left him wide open.
3-pointers right on the top of the key.
And throughout the game, it wasn't as if he was having a typical game.
No.
But he
still owes us one. That's the scary part about tonight.
Yeah.
He still owes us one.
He still thinks that
he still had 21 points though.
Yeah.
He got 21, but he was like invisible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So you're right, Dream. He owes us one.
He owes us one.
Please don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We saw flashes of it last night. We talked about that as one of the matchups, the Barrett-Levine matchup, and we didn't get it the way we wanted it. But since we got back-to-back games, both teams will make adjustments. I think they'll find a way for that to be the focus of the matchup tonight. Because, like I said, we saw flashes of it. They both got some nice dunks off. They both eventually scored up. I mean, we got hit with the Riddler last night. And once again, we were left with more questions than answers, speaking of Barrett, you know what I mean? Because 2 points at halftime doesn't work for anybody. You waited too long to assert yourself into the offense. Yeah, you had 10 in the third. That was sweet. But why are you waiting to the third quarter to assert yourself into the game? And then 2 points in the fourth quarter. So, again, more questions than answers, bro. So, tonight you owe us one too. So, he's coming and you need to come tonight. And that's basically how that needs to shake out, What else do we have here? Outside of that, a lot of different places. We lost that fast break points, 14-3. That's another bad area, And basically what this came down to, regardless of everything, was our fourth quarter blunders. You know, there's so many here. It's sad. Like, you know, quickly from the deep three prior to running the offense. One time I saw quickly had a bad lob to Noel coming down. Rivers overplaying for steals and the backdooring leading to open layup. Rivers brick one off the backboard. We talked about the Barrett three. Another Barrett bad pass. It was just like a whole bunch. Even with all that said, we were still tied with a minute left.
Right.
Tied with a minute left.
Right.
You had to wipe that all away and come down and finish the game, right? And what do we get? One of our matchups was Quickly and Kobe, and it really didn't come down until the end. And then it goes to the corner, and Kobe White drills the three, which eventually that's really the game ender right there, because that gave them the enough amount of points they needed just to end the game. But, you know, and then Levine had his little flash at the end. But, you know, too often down the stretch, I felt like they were running their offense to try to get it to Randall to produce a play. But the problem was they were running the ball and their men over to that same side. So twice he's going 1-on-3 and he's trying to do a spin move into people. And he's like bowling into them and the ball goes gone. It's it. And it's a turnover. So that's the one that killed us. And the really one that right at the end, it was the Randall turnover that turned into the Levine three. Game over right there. Boom.
Right.
You know? So, you
know, 6-point game.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's really, you know, that along with the no boxing out pretty much the entire quarter, it just, you know, it hurts to see because it was a game that we easily could have had. If you shore up 4 or 5 of these 10 errors, you know, so it's like, you know, you easily could have been in that game, and we were in that game, even with all this fumbling around the entire, you know, performance. Go.
My take on that is that it shouldn't have to come down to a tie game with a minute to go. We should be up by 6 or 8 or even 10 with a minute to go.
Yes, because
we are basically about the same in terms of you know, our, you know, the quality of our players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They got a good guy, we got a good guy. They got a great guy, we got a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
They got a point guard, we got a point guard, you know, that can go off at any time.
Yeah.
So we equally matched, but I think we have advantages in certain areas that aren't exploited, and we have a better defense. And it's like, you know what? I want to give them again the excuse. It's a back-to-back. We have to fly out there, you know, all that. But you know, no excuses.
If you're aspiring to be an upper echelon teams, back-to-back, everyone has back-to-backs.
You gotta break those streaks.
You gotta break the bad habits and be able to win the back-to-backs.
Yeah.
But another thing that I noticed, and what is going on with Austin Rivers? He ain't Austin Powers. He's only Austin Powers against the Jazz, seemingly. What is going on with him? And that was another thing that I mentioned in the chat. Tibbs was seemingly coaching the same way he did the previous game against the Clippers. He had Austin out there for he only had 15 minutes. But in that 15 minutes, he didn't do anything.
No. It was
and he didn't say he was playing good defense because he wasn't. He had 1 point in 15 minutes.
No. They don't have a play for him. They give him the ball in the corner, and he shakes it up.
And then he starts razzle-dazzling, and
it goes left or goes right, or takes a 3-pointer, or the guy's already on top of him before he even can get up in the air, so he has to stop, reset, give the ball back to somebody else, run to the other corner. Nothing happens when he gets the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the time. So I don't understand why he deserves the minute that he's getting. But this is who we stuck with. These are the 8 guys that we stuck with. It is Rivers. It is Bullock. It is Burks. It is IQ. Right now, he doesn't want to. Oh, Taj. He want to give Taj a couple of minutes. You know, those are the guys. I mean, other than Barrett, and he's giving your boy, your point guard, too many minutes. He gives him the whole first quarter, and then they end up being down.
Peyton, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
He gives him the whole first quarter. I think
Peyton gave us 5 points and 2 rebounds. No assist.
Yeah.
No
assist.
Yeah. And I usually fight for him a little bit only because I'm not really expecting any of that stuff anymore. I just want him to control the offense and play good defense because he does do that. But the offense is not getting kick-started at all. And that's hurting us more than anything. Early in the quarter, like I said, I said in my analysis, like the first 3 minutes, we could have been up 8-0 or something like that. And I'm not saying that's not a whole bunch more points, but in a game that ends up 110, 102, if you get a little run like that, you start, boom, like put your foot down in the game. This is establishing yourself. First 3 minutes, bang, I'm gonna jump on you. This is what I'm planning to do to you. So it takes them out of their game. And then the only other thing we need to do is address running off players on the 3-point line. Like every time we have a show, we talk about this. Run guys off the line. Get in their known comfort zones.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're not really that pure shooters. They're just shooting from where they're comfortable, and we just keep leaving them wide open. Like it's ridiculous. I don't know.
I don't know what the statistics are, but I doubt if we're the number 1 defense right about
it's
now.
Only by points allowed, because we keep holding teams. Even though the 110 or whatever, an average overall,
So we're still the number 1 defense?
I'll double check, but I haven't checked today. But that's pretty much how
we were number 1 2 games ago when we were going against the Clippers.
The Clippers, yeah.
Yeah.
But then those 2 games.
Number 1 in points
the 120
allowed,
hurt.
Number 1 in 3 points allowed.
Yeah.
But then the Clippers say, "Hey, you're the number 1 in 3 points allowed. We'll take this."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then so did Dirk. He said, "Okay, you're the number 1 in 3 points. Let me." So I'm curious to find out. I doubt if we're the number 1 3-point defense.
But we don't have to be number 1. We okay with being number 2 as long as that number 2 shows up every night.
Yeah. That's what it is, really.
You know what I'm saying? Just show up. Listen, another thing, Quigley. Okay, the difference between Quigley and Peyton is that Quigley is going to look for his shot.
Yes.
While Peyton is not even looking for his shot. So he controlled the offense, but he's another guy. So now I'm going 3 on 5. 5 defenders and 3 shooters.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm already. I don't have Mitchell, and now I don't have Peyton.
Now you don't have your point. You're 1 and you're 5.
Yeah.
Nothing out of that.
So what am I? Get them out of there.
Yeah.
Go with Quigley right away, and let Peyton come in and steady the defense, because Quigley will get exploited on defense. He's still very light. He's still 19, a college ball. He doesn't have the body of an NBA player. Okay, and all those.
Listen, I say give up 2 number 2s and go get Derrick Rose. Bring him back over.
I don't even know if it would take that much. Maybe one number 2 and stuff like that. I mean, that's something like I would probably put money on it because of the way Tom Thibodeau, chases those players that he really likes and fights to get them on the team. That's why we have Gibson back, So I would not be shocked to see that happen at some point in the year, But are we going to bring him here as a 1 or as a backup? That's again our issue. No, you're bringing over what?
I bring him in as a 1.
Bring him over as a 1 because he's a backup right now, and where is he? Detroit or something like that? I think he is or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's putting up his 13 a game off the bench in like 15 minutes. So it's like he's still a scoring threat.
I mean, bring him here and then have quickly starting. Whatever.
I mean,
whatever works. But
yeah.
Peyton is not cutting it. He's just not.
Yeah, no, he's not cutting it. And what happens if as soon as he starts laxing on the defense, then it's like the whole show has to go because the other 2 are already, a negative for him. He's not going to give us plus scoring, and the assists are not there either. So, once in a while he gets in there, with a little bit of a rebounding game, but that's not, I just worry switching the 2, then you start the game all fine, that's fine and dandy, but then Quickly also has to go through the adjustment of understanding that, he's not coming off to be the spark plug. He's just getting us started because the other two have to get off. I don't know. Like, how does that work? There's
That's right.
We played out.
And then that would cause Quickly. You're 100% correct. He would have to play his game a little differently with the starters. He would have to look for his shot less and look to distribute more with the threat of scoring. Yeah. He would have to be a little different.
That's not his game.
I know. Well then we have to keep him coming off the bench. Then
once he gets in the lane, he's going for the floater. It's either the floater or the alley-oop.
And I don't want to take that from him. I don't want to take that from him. I love the float. You see, I posted the floaters video on our chat, right? That should be his theme song. That's Quickly's theme song.
Float on.
Float on.
I saw that.
So therefore, we got to get someone else to start as our point guard. Maybe Quickly's I won't say career, but maybe Quickly for the first couple of seasons with us, he's going to have to play the Lou Williams role.
The number 6 man.
Yeah. Maybe. Hey, he's good enough to do it.
I'm okay with that too. But I would like him to come in a little earlier.
Me too.
I say 4 minutes into the game.
Well, he did on the other game. He came in. I took notes. Yeah. He came in with about 4 minutes left in the first.
No. 4 minutes into the game.
Into the game. Oh, so at the 8-minute mark.
8 minutes at the end.
Oh, okay.
8-minute mark.
Oh, I agree with you.
At the 8-minute mark. Give him the 8 minutes of extra 4 minutes from.
Listen, man.
Give it to him.
You leave it up to me. He should come in at the 10-minute mark.
Well,
that's it. Shot on.
Man.
But then you're really killing Peyton, man, because he was gonna break a sweat.
Yeah.
It's okay. Keep those fresh legs.
Say it again.
So keep those fresh legs.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a quick reference. I was watching some videos yesterday. Came across on the NBA channel. A guy that really quickly reminds me of his style of play. Gary Payton, man. It's just like eerily similar.
The glove.
The glove. I'm not saying defensively. I'm saying his offensive. If you just watch highlights, if in your spare time and stuff like that, the way his transition, his early body, like it just looks just like the way he shoots, kind of just like that quick trigger floating thing. Very, very similar, man. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's somebody that you can patent his game around, because I see the thing I noticed about Quickly is that he's also being a sponge this year. He has a game, but he's taking a little bit from Peyton, some of those teardrop floating, how to get into the lane and stuff. He still likes the quick trigger 3, but I think he's willing to add things to his game in addition to that.
And his body is going to develop. So
his body's going to develop. Yeah,
his body's developing. He's slight, and the better guards or the veteran guards know how to take advantage of that. Yeah. However, folks, remember, Steph Curry started off like that too, with the slight body, and Curry had a lot of injuries in the first couple of seasons of his career. But you notice that Steph's body now is kind of like it's more filled out. He's stronger. He's much stronger, and I expect the same for Quickly. Basically.
Yeah. Being shifty helps with being light. That shiftiness, it throws people off defensively, so that helps. And so there's good examples in the league of what we hope for him to be. That being said, I think we can take put our foot in the ground and take a quick TO, 20-second timeout, regroup, go forward for this game tonight. Things we like, the things we're looking forward to. Some matchups we want to see, some adjustments we want to talk about. I'm on overhead. Well, actually, I'm just going to go in for the tip and see where it ends up. So I'm going to go and I'm going to tap this ball up and let's see who gets it. Who's fighting for it?
2.0, take it.
2.0. Listen, okay. So, again, we're playing the same team, okay? There's got to be, as an athlete, there's got to be a little bit of fire under you to not lose 2 in a row to the same team in the same week, So I'm hoping that these guys are going to come in there with some fire and desire and start playing their defense right from the beginning. One of the things that I noticed quickly does on occasion, or for most of the time that I get to see him, is that he picks up the ball all the way up at three-quarter court. Okay? He's either down there, right there, waiting for the guy to hand the ball to the guard coming out of bounds, or he's waiting for them, but he's not running back.
Right.
And that's the defense we need to play with these guys. Don't play around with them, because they'll continue to like you said, they feel Levine feels like he owes us one. Marketing thinks that he's a world beater and that he's going to come in there doing the same thing. Oh, by the way, Marketing had 2 points in the fourth quarter.
No points.
But said and done.
0
points. Okay, so he either shut himself down or he got shut down, or a combination of the two.
A mix,
shut that up in the beginning of the game.
Right.
Because that's when the game was won or lost. Because in the last few, we never developed a consistent run. So our run at the last minute was less than their run in the last minute.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We had no run. There was never a point where we stole the ball. They missed a shot, and we went 3 times in a row. And one of them turned out to be a fast break, and one of them turns out to be a 3-point play on a layup, and one of them was a lucky 3-point shot. Nothing like that. There was no 8-point run for us. So we need a few of that. We need to have that fire and desire, and we have to play whatever it is our defense is supposed to be. Number 1, number 2, against points allowed and 3-point shot has to show up. If that doesn't show up, and we're in for what is it? We've lost 5 out of the last 6. It's going to be 6 out of the last 7. Not a good look.
Not at all.
We'll swing back around for a score. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas.
Take it.
What scores?
Well, no, we'll swing back around for his score, but let's get a little, analysis first from you.
Yeah, I agree with basically everything that both of you brothers are saying with regard to that last game, and I'm still going to harp on the fact that I'm not going to let Tibbs go with this. You can't keep coaching the same way and expecting different results.
It's coaching. So
hopefully tonight he'll do something different than what he did the past 2 games with regard to his substitution patterns and how to attack the offense. We seem to start, for whatever reason, we start just settling for threes.
Yeah.
And we have a good inside offensive team.
Yeah.
But let's go in there. Let Quick, let Peyton drive. And only kick out if the middle's clogged, then of course you kick it out. Yeah. But you can drive and you have options: the float, the lob to Mitch or Noel. But for whatever reason, we seem to come out, and especially in those third quarters, we come out, thinking we're the Clippers or the Warriors, and just start jacking up threes, three after three, and don't hit one. Because whoever hits that one, he feels that he's the hot man for that night, and he's going to take every shot from behind the arc, and that does not work for us.
The only person that should be allowed to take threes is Quickly.
And Burks.
I'll take 3 out of 5 from them.
Yeah, I'll take that from Burks.
3 out of 6 from them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Dream.
All right. So, this overall for the season, this is the 3rd time that we're facing a team like basically in a back-to-back. Not day-wise, but game-wise, back-to-back games. Same team. Right. The first 2 times happened in the preseason. What was Detroit? We split that, and then we had the Cleveland after that, which we took both games. Right. So we went 3-1 in those 2, even though they were in the preseason. So this is now our 3rd shot at that. Chicago is a team that we're probably going to see down the road in a play-in or play-off situation. So we need to see right now And I agree with you guys. Coaching wise, what are the adjustments you're going to make in this game? Because you now have to show this is like a playoff situation. Like, okay, now you have a second game, and in as many nights or whatever in the third night, and you're supposed to come back against what they did to you. So we're going to see that directly again right now. Because I forgot what happened in Detroit and Cleveland, other than we knew it was a preseason and all that stuff, so it really didn't matter. But now it matters. And it matters because this team slid ahead of us in the standings also. So now we want to get our spot back is the other thing, As far as the matchups, it's still for me, the first matchup I'm looking at is the Barrett-Levine rematch. Let's go. Both these guys have sluggish games, even though they have, what we consistently call empty calorie points on this show. Towards the end, it's like forgettable, except for those last couple of threes. Like I said, we saw flashes at times from these guys. But most importantly for us, like I said, it's the Thibs versus Donovan matchup. The coaches, what adjustments are you going to make to each other? And I guess I'll swing it. I'll swing a cross court bounce pass. Boom! I see my man 2.0 flashing down the backside. Take it away.
All right. So I'm going to stick with the home team. I am going to.
The home team is Chicago, by the way.
my home team.
Yo, I just want to be clear.
I hope that's what you were talking about.
Yo,
I said, oh no.
This is the home team.
Okay.
Oh God.
The whole team is is what I'm wearing. So I'm expecting that a better performance and from these guys, especially in the turnover area and in the defense. The score, our scoring, our points are predicated how well we play our defense. We need 6 fast breaks opportunities, to get us, to loosen us up so that we can feel free to take that baby jumper or even that 3-pointer. But if we're always just chucking it up because we're hoping and praying that we make it so we can catch up, then it's when we get into trouble. Okay? Because then you start, questioning yourself and, your confidence in making those shots. But, it's like everything else. Once you hit that layup, oh, yeah, you ball going through the hoop. You take a foul shot. You see the ball going through the hoop. Now you got your wrist is now in a kind of rhythm that you need to be in when you rise to take that 20-footer. Mm-hmm. But the defense has to show up. And I am going to say that it's going to be a low-scoring event. So we're going to put 100-89. Knicks.
All right.
You wrote that down, Bill?
Got that down.
Write it down.
100-89. And that's my final answer. Take it away, Bill.
All right. I agree with you with what you said. And I just wanted to add that we cannot continue to fall behind and then try to play what Dream had referenced earlier, that hero ball stuff. That just doesn't work for us. Whether it's RJ or whether it's Randall trying to do it, it's been proven time and time again in this already short season that is not going to work for us. I expect the defense to return tonight, and I'm feeling a little hurt, and I feel like they owe us one. They owe me one. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I'm going to say the same score that I predicted for the previous game. I'm going 118-107 New York.
Woo!
Same score. Because maybe my crystal ball was, had a little fog on it. I had the wrong date.
Wrong date.
Wrong date.
Those back-to-back games with the same team, that can happen. That's easy.
All right. And with that said, now I'm going to get a little fancy. I'm going to go behind the back. Time in this game to my man, the Dream.
They fouled me when I was going up for my and one, but I missed it. But I'm good at the line. Don't worry. So, I guess what it comes down to is the biggest adjustment I want to see, not just to this game, but to this year, is running out at the guys on the 3-point line. I don't care if we have a game where you give up 70 shots from inside and 10 from the 3-point line. Like, I think we could probably win that game no matter what, but it's those open threes, and not late runouts either. Like, I don't know why we keep getting bogged down in the lane. Like, don't help. If your man gets beat, just let him get beat. Don't give up that three though. Like, that's the daggers that kill us, especially right off of turnovers. Right off of turnovers, they need to instill in these guys, run back to that 3-point line. If you get an inside shot and a layup, okay, fine, whatever, the defense gave in. But don't let them come down, shoot a wide open three, bam, 5-point turnaround. You're -2 and they're +3. Like, that kind of stuff happens to us too often in games, that in mind, I'm still looking to my matchups. Like I said, we said Levine, give us the show. Barry, give us the show. That's what we want to see tonight, outside of that, I'm also picking a tight game. I had to convince myself out of it. But similar to you, Bill Stradamus, I almost went with the same score, different day. But I talked myself out of it. Still going to give it to our guys. 108-105.
Whoa, okay.
That's how I'm looking at this. A tight game, 108-105. I think it's a couple free throws in the end, but we get our act together. We play a little bit tighter D, and we take this one back to the house because we got to get ready for another return beat down, and we got to pass back to Portland coming up. So we get a couple of days to get ready for them. But let's get this game in the books, let's get this game in the books and let's do what we do. Like, it's about time that we get back to playing that tight defense. I don't want to see guys getting shots and doing what they do and being comfortable on the court.
So you're talking about
outside of that, we're winding up the show. We'll just give a quick shout out to my man Santana. Always part of the group, I'm sure, keeping it 100 like he does all the time. The Knicks would probably win this game 102-100 because he always predicts the 100. But
we'll give him. We'll place a tentative score down for him.
Score down,
what's that? 102-100.
102-100 Knicks for him. We'll put a tentative down for him.
102-100.
102 for Santana. We put a collective
for Papi Santos.
Yeah, for
Bugs or Santana?
No, it was for Santana. But I'm not sure, Bugs. You want to give one for Cuz Bugs? For Notorious?
For Bugs? Let's see. Let me see what was his last. What is his last? He had 109.93. He had 16 points. I'm pretty sure that he's going to bring that down. I think he'll bring it down to, I think he'll say like, I'll give him 100 to 89.
Okay. Yeah, I see him pulling that score like that.
That's my score.
That's my score.
Oh, my bad. Yes, it is. It is. Okay, no. Okay, then I'm gonna change that.
That's good enough.
There you go. That might be it then, huh?
Because I'll change that. 104-92.
Okay.
I still got him double figure.
Double digits, yeah. He felt good about the matchup. So not bad. So it's been another great show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'd like to thank Bill Stradamus. And it's for our last play of the game. I like to toss it over top for a last second 2.0. Take it away.
All right.
Get us out of here,
guys, for holding it down. And as we always say before we end the show, once a Knick,
always
a Knick.
Enjoy, fellas.
All right, man.
All right, fellas. Have a great day.
Salute to the team tonight.
See you on the chat.
Game.
All right.